This is the Ultraloq Latch 5 NFC, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a complete review of this lock. We will be unboxing, installing, and reviewing this nice smart lock. Stay tuned to the end to see my rating of it and would I recommend this lock to y'all. Thanks for watching. Alright, let's open it and see what's inside. Now bear in mind, I did order this used. It looks well presented. First off, what is this? Now this is, I guess, a return policy. Right here, we have some literature. Let's open it up. It does not look used so far, I'll say that. So far. Nice, cool looking batteries, UTech brand. And this is something I was excited about. I was not expecting it to come with NFC cards. Especially since these were popping up under, the frequently bought together on Amazon. So, that's nice. We will definitely be using these. More literature. Have a mounting template. I guess this really isn't a mounting template if I guess your door doesn't already have the things in it because it said you don't need a drill. So yeah, that's for the hole memory. So we won't even be needing that. This is like if you need to make a hole in your door, I guess. Here we have the instructions themselves. This is the app instructions. Now, for the lock itself, this lifts out. Yes, this is our hardware and keys. This does show signs, yeah, it's definitely used. It's actually the packaging, I think, because this is rubbing off. Yeah, it just brushes right off. See, it just rubs right off. I don't know what it'd be, though. This is the inside. $70 or $80 cheaper to buy it used, and it looks basically like new. Actually, I'm wondering if it even has been used. I mean, wow. This is solid. I'll have to say, this is heavy duty right here. Let's see what's in here. Again, it's probably hardware and keys, I imagine. I guess this is just their native lock they put on these. It comes with 3 keys, which is nice. I wish more locks would do that. It's funny. They say it's meant for residential doors, but this one will not go on this door. It's like really, really close. I don't think it will, though. Let me actually get down here with it. Yeah. Close, but not quite. Alright, let's go ahead now that we've got everything open and start a time lapse. Alright, now we can simply slice these batteries open with our flathead. Probably gonna make a little beep. After we get them all in, I should say. Okay, there we go. They're unlocked. Alright, time for the handles. And guys, the lock is installed. We have successfully installed the Ultraloq Latch 5 NFC on the studio door here. From all angles, especially on this side of the door, this thing looks so nice. Put some more light on it there. That looks very nice. It makes the door just look so modern. We'll start on this side. First of all, the batteries are in here, and they are accessed simply by undoing this little screw and sliding up on this little cover piece right here. There are 4 AA batteries in there. But here's where this lock really shines. The build quality on this lock is amazing. This lock, except for this part right here, is metal. This is not going anywhere. Something else I like about is the operation of it is so smooth. I could do it with my pinky probably. Yeah, just with my pinky. It is so smooth. On this side, again, metal. These handles attach using the where you tighten this down. Instead of it snapping in, you have to tighten this down with the Allen key. So these are secure and they don't even rattle like on other smart locks where you just push in and it clicks and you just have the little release buttons. These don't even rattle. Metal. And it's waterproof. Or water resistant, I should say. So water won't hurt it. Metal. Build quality on this thing, amazing. Everything about it just works so well. Like, this will hold up for a long time. As far as durability and build quality, I think I'd have to give this thing almost a 10 out of 10. That is a well-built lock. Now is my favorite part of the video, where we test out the functionality of this lock. This lock is so feature-rich and customizable when it comes to access. There's so many ways I can enter this room. As you can see, I'm locked out and cannot get back in. It's a little bit beefier on the outside. It kind of does stick out a little ways. But otherwise, if you don't mind that, it's fine. There are many ways you can unlock this lock. Number 1 is using the app, which we won't do right now, just simply because when you click unlock an app, it'll unlock it and then auto relock it after however many seconds you have it to. How do you unlock this thing with the keypad? It's very simple. You just touch to wait by holding your hand against the unit. And then as you can see, a touch sensitive keypad pops up. And if you notice, all I have to do is barely touch my finger like this, and it picks it up. Upon hitting enter, it unlocks and I can get in. Next way is with a key card. With this unit, you get 2 of these NFC cards with it. One I have programmed, the other I do not. So as you can see, we just simply tap it, and we are granted access. Now, it may not be too obvious or not, but believe it or not, there is a physical keyhole on this. With this unit, you get 3 keys with it, and I'll be demonstrating that function now. If we go down here to the bottom of the lock, you'll notice this little flap. We can simply open that like so, and basically what we can do is take one of our keys, go down to our keyhole. It's hard doing this one-handed. Stick that in there like that, turn it. Well, and we are granted access. Alright, so those were the methods of unlocking that came with the lock. Now, here's where things start to get a little cool. This lock is compatible with Google Home. So basically, I have this set up so I can open it from the Google Home app on my phone, or by saying the Google Wake phrase to my phone, or using this unit right here, or the remote on my TV. So with my voice, I can unlock this door. Check this out. Hey Google, unlock the studio door.
Can I have your PIN?
5.
Sure. Unlocking the studio door.
And as you can see, we can now get in, and this is blinking because it unlocked with the app. Last but not least, this is something I added. Coming in with the key card is fine. Coming in with my voice is fine. Coming in with the keypad is fine. And I'm most likely, again, not going to be carrying that NFC card with me. So what I've done is programmed in an NFC tag that goes on my key ring here. So, and I have my keys with me most of the time. So I can simply come in by tapping this key tag. I have a lot of other key fobs, but they're all RFID. So this is my favorite way to come in. All I have to do is simply hold it to the reader and come in. Now, before we get to the final thoughts, let's talk a little bit more about the app setup of this lock. Alright, now that we've unboxed, installed, and tested the Latch 5 NFC, let's look at what's really behind this lock, and that is the app. From the app, you can control all aspects of this lock, including, of course, locking and unlocking the door, viewing the event log, and doing programming and customizing this lock. So, let's take a look at that now. The app you will need to download to use this lock is called UHome. And it's not just meant for the Latch 5 NFC. It'll work with their other locks as well as other smart home tech made by the company UTech. So if we go onto the UHome app here, you can see the only device I have is the Latch 5 NFC. So as you notice, I have named the room. Studio wasn't one of the pre-programmed options, so I made a custom name, named it Studio, and that is the room. Of course, like many other smart home apps, you first start by assigning it to a room. Once you get the initial setup done, you will be able to use all aspects of this lock by either clicking the lock and name itself or tapping the settings option. Now, this lock, what makes it unique is it has built-in Wi-Fi. So, it connects to the app, and changes made in the app reflect on the lock extremely quickly. We'll get more into that in a second. First of all, the first option, upon clicking unlock, it'll unlock and stay unlocked for however long you have it set before it auto locks, which in my case is 3 seconds. I could see this being helpful if you were away from your house and say a family member or friend texted and said, hey, I need in. You could just easily unlock the door and let them in. That's always a good feature to have. Speaking of coming and going, another great feature on this app is the log. With this log, you can view who entered whatever your protected area is and the method they entered with. So as you can see here, it's all me. It shows when it auto locked, of course. But as you can see, all these I came in with Google Home, and basically what that means is I opened the door with the Google Home functionality. But it'd be the same if, say, you came in with an NFC card or a fob or a phone or the keypad. It would reflect that on the log. From the log, we go into settings. Now this is where all the customization happens. Starting off at the top, you have device info. This is where you can just simply put in this is just the basic information about your device. Upon going down where it says switch room, that is where you tell it what room it is in. So in my example, I have it in the studio. Going on down, you can read the status of the battery level. So in my case, it is high, and it should stay like that a long time. Next is lock sounds. That's pretty self-explanatory. That's where you're able to turn the beeps on or off. Smart notifications. That allows you to customize the notifications sent to your phone via the app, like locking and unlocking, stuff like that. I have it off because in my opinion, I do not like to get a lot of push notifications from apps. Next, you have lock mode. And this is where you can set what status the lock is in. You have 3 options: normal, passage, or lockout. In normal mode, that's just where the lock functions normal, where once it's unlocked, it'll lock back automatically after your set auto lock period. Using that, you can come in, key card, code, smartphone, anything like that, and it'll lock back. Next, we have passage, and that's what I had it set to when I took this picture. That is nice if you're going to be coming and going a lot, or know people that are going to be coming and going a lot. And basically what that is, again, pretty self-explanatory. The lock remains unlocked, and it doesn't lock. It just stays unlocked. Lastly, we have lockout, which literally locks down the lock. So the only way to come in is using the mechanical key or until you switch it back in the app. You can't come in electronically. You can't come in with the keypad or the NFC or a phone or anything. It literally locks it down. That would be good, I guess, if it was in a work or school environment or something like that. Going back to the settings page, we are now at Wi-Fi, and that is something neat about this lock, is it has a built-in Wi-Fi communications. As you can see, it is enabled. If it becomes disabled, basically not many of the features of your lock will work. It'll still work, but it won't unlock in as many ways. You'll be limited in its functionality. Next is firmware, but we don't talk about that. That's just all the boring stuff. Y'all don't need to worry about that. So we've discussed all other aspects of this lock. Now, let's talk about the price. And is it worth it? And would I recommend it? The Latch 5 NFC Smart Lock typically retails for $145 to $170 US. Now, I was able to get mine cheaper by buying it used like new. Again, for a brand new out of the box unit, it's going to be $145 to $170. But now, is it worth it? I like to compare stuff to things, and I have one other electronic lock in this house, as y'all may know, and that is a Schlage keypad dumb lock on the door that goes from our attached garage into our house. And I couldn't help noticing that's right around the same price at most big box retailers as the Latch 5 NFC on larger sites such as Amazon. In fact, I think it was the same price at Amazon as that from Lowe's. Now, don't quote me on that. I don't know, but I've seen some similarities. Comparing it, I gotta think. For X price, you were getting the Schlage dumb keypad lock, or on the other hand, the Latch 5 NFC, and you got to compare them. Now, build quality, they're both good locks. The Schlage doesn't feel cheap or like it's a bad lock. As far as build quality, it's a good lock. You got to think, it's not smart. Of course, it definitely doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi. It's not a smart lock, so therefore, I can't control it with my phone. I can't see who's coming in and out at what times. Obviously, it doesn't have NFC or even just any kind of scanner or card reader on it. The only way you can come in and out is with a keypad, which on the Latch 5 NFC is one out of many options of entry. Now, of course, you can come in with the key on the Schlage lock. My point is, for X amount, you're getting this, the Schlage, or this, the Latch 5 NFC. And again, as far as your build quality and the locks, they're both great as far as just being a lock. But you get so many more options and so much more customability on the Latch 5 NFC. So if I'm not saying that, I'm not even going to state my opinion, because like I said, they're both good locks, and of course it really at the end of the day just depends on your needs. But if that helps sway your decision any, there's that. Let's talk about what I thought stood out about the Latch 5 NFC, and we'll start off with build quality, since that was what we were just talking about. About the Schlage locks, they're perfectly good locks. In fact, they are probably one of the most common electronic locks. I see them all over the place, the Schlage dumb keypad locks. And now those typically range from $102 to $203 US. So there's quite a window there, and if you can get them on a site like eBay or something, you can get brand new ones for under $100. But like going any kind of big name brand, it's a little bit pricey to get it brand new. But again, personally, I'll just say I think it's a good lock. Anyway, build quality on the Latch 5 NFC. Let's just say the build quality is amazing on that device. It is, as you saw in the video, all metal, basically. I think aluminum alloy, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. I don't know metal. But that stuff is strong. Like that lock, it can take a beating. Let me just say, even on the inside. I can pull on the handle, I can yank on the lock, which I did, and it ain't going anywhere. And not only that, but there's also a security kit that comes with it. And basically what it lets you do is put another little hole higher up in the door towards the top of the lock, and install another security pin. It's another little screw that secures the lock even at the top. If you think that your lock couldn't take a beating for some reason or another, be put under a lot of stress, you can put that security pin in there, and that'll really hold it on. And another thing, instead of having 2 through the hole in the door, 2 screws, there are 3, so it's already extremely secure. And again, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I just remember taking that thing out of the box. It was heavy, and I was like, this build quality is pretty good. That brings us to use and customization. Now, as far as use, as you've heard me say, there are many different ways to enter whatever establishment that this lock is protecting. I mean, I can think of at least probably 6 or 7 different ways I can go in the studio. So it can be tailored to whatever your needs are there. Especially if there's a landlord, you can definitely find a good means of allowing access through this lock, because it gives you different options of how to gain access to whatever it's protecting. One thing that makes this lock unique is not only is it NFC and can be opened with the phone, it works with Androids, which that right there sets it apart from a lot of other smart locks. It works with Android, works perfectly fine with my phone, which is a Samsung Galaxy. All I have to do is just hold my phone to the reader, and I am granted access. That was one thing I was looking for when I went searching for a lock for the door, was one that would work with Android. And one thing I think that sets it apart, that it can work with Android. Customization. Again, I talked about that when we looked at the app a moment ago, but there are a number of options as far as customizing just how the lock works when you set it up. I wouldn't say it's like any big amount, but it's all that I needed and probably all that you'll need. And I wouldn't be surprised if they add more features in the future. I think this could really be something big, honestly, or could get bigger, I should say. Again, I haven't seen any of these out in the wild anywhere. Like I've seen the Schlage keypad lever, but I don't know. They just seem like a really good lock. I've had this thing for a few weeks now, actually several weeks, and it's worked fine, and I haven't had a single issue with it. So, thumbs up. Now, in conclusion, would I recommend the Latch 5 NFC Smart Lock
to y'all. And I would have to say, absolutely, I would. Especially if you have an Android. If you're like me and looking for a good smart lock that'll work with an Android, already, I mean, your options are quite narrowed down. But I would definitely recommend that. If you are buying it new, I think it's worth the price. Honestly, I got it used, but that's not like, I know there can be issues with buying. Again, I bought it on Amazon, but I know anywhere you buy stuff used, there's always a little bit of an issue. So if you can buy it new, I'd recommend. I'd say I wouldn't see a problem with it because I think it's worth the money. I've been impressed so far. Again, haven't had a single problems. Yes, I'd recommend it. I think it's a great lock. Gives lots of options, again, as far as entry and as well as customization. I mean, there's a good number of options to customize it to your liking. And app works really well. Haven't had any like UI related problems or anything like that with the app. So the app works fine. It hasn't crashed, hasn't frozen, done anything like that. So if you are looking for a good Wi-Fi smart lock, I highly recommend the Latch 5 NFC. That was my little review on it, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed it or if it helped you or if you just found it entertaining by dropping a like. If you have any questions about the lock or any comments, drop them down below or to the side, wherever the comment section is now. I know more about smart locks than YouTube probably. And if you enjoy my content or content like this, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you around.